And well, good evening, everybody. You are looking live from the downtown Mawa dining room studios of the Jimmy Palumbo Show, and of course, across the glass, your friend and mine, coming from downtown Dunellen Studios, or whatever he's calling them right now, which are the Stellar Studios. Mr. Dave Sturcio. Dave, how are we doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I weathered the blizzard of 2026. I say air quotes because
Yeah, because your wife did all the shoveling.
Well, that too, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about no. I mean, like the last snow was way worse because it was like half ice and shit, and like everything was so. This is like the powdery, just move it out the way kind of shit. I was out of my driveway in like 2 hours.
Powdery. It was. First of all, it was a foot and a half. I don't know how much you got. I got a foot and a half of snow, and it was. Heavy.
I got about 2 feet, and I was able to just kind of because I'm a little stronger than you, I would assume. But what are you doing shoveling? Aren't you in a condo? Don't they do that shit for you?
I'm going to get to that later on in the show. You have no idea what I went through.
Uh-huh.
But of course, this is show number 257, and that means one name only, Byron Hunt. Byron Hunt, the football Giants, had a critical interception against the Cowboys in one of their games. I think it was the Joe Danello game. My brother's going to kill me. Yes, I think it was the Joe Danello game. No, it wasn't the Joe Danello game. It was another big game we won against the Cowboys. My brother will text me and say, you suck. I don't know the answer to that. But Byron Hunt, Corey Miller, and for Venditti driving off the road, we have John Scurapan. Nobody knows who that is except my cousin Joey, and my brother, and my cousin John. We also have your boy Kevin Burnett, another Cowboy.
Solid linebacker.
Yeah, solid linebacker. Then you got Tom Jackson, Mo Lewis, and of course you Yankee fans out there, Chad Green getting involved.
Yes.
And Steve Howe, who I think is dead.
Wow, Steve Howe. Yeah, he was one of my first
he was
awesome. I remember getting a baseball card of his. And I was like, wow, cool. It's a Yankee. Like I didn't even know who the fuck. It was like 91.
He made Artie Lang seem like a health nut. Then of course you got Juan Bonilla on the Yankees back in '87, and then of course you've got a sport I'm very fond of. The Cosmos Pele was number 57.
Dude, not for nothing. You're gonna shit about this. I don't know if you've been paying attention to Mile 21 Media, but one of the better podcasts of the entire network now is Cosmos Country, which was launched about a month ago, I guess, or 2 months ago. And they're knee deep in Cosmos coverage. Now I say that like, okay, who gives a crap about the Cosmos? But they are an iconic franchise in the world because of Pele, not Pele. I thought it was Pele forever. And then like all the interviews they've been doing, they're like Pele, and I'm like, who the fuck? But no, the cool part is that their opening game coming up on March 14th, going down at Hinchcliffe Stadium in Patterson. It's also a reunion night, meaning there was a beautiful cheerleader in 1979 and 80 and 81. Her name was Dee Sturcio. That is my mother. So they're bringing my mother back for a reunion dance.
See that?
So she's going to be performing and shit. And I'm just like, you got to be fucking
There is magic to the show number 257 here, Jay. Cosmos, I have watched a total of 13 seconds of Cosmo action. And I guess with the World Cup coming up, which I will watch the U.S. play, and that'll do it here. And also, for those of you into condiments, Heinz 57 Variety Day here.
Just hit the Heinz, right? Hit the Heinz and the ketchup. Right, I'll also, me being the pretty much the model specimen for perfect health. I've never eaten ketchup on purpose in my life.
I am rare. I will have ketchup.
I hate it, actually.
I will have it. No, I shouldn't say it. I will not reach for it, but I will have it a little bit on a burger. I will occasionally dip a fry in, but I don't even like fries with no. I'm not. And ketchup on eggs is 2 shots in the ball, game over.
No.
I didn't want to get into that argument, but I'm more of a mustard guy here, and ketchup on a hot dog. That's a very Rutgers move there. Telegraphing our new show coming in the fall. Sponsored by Heinz 57. But yes, show number 57. And of course, your friend and mine, the baseball card segment, my favorite part of the show. A lot of people hit the 10-second button now on their app, but that's okay. It is your
Only
friend and mine,
Janine.
Mr. Rob Nen.
I do know Rob Nen.
You do know Rob Nen. Now,
Yeah.
of course, Rob Nen here played 10 years from 93 to 2002. He's 56 years old today. His record was 45 and 42, 2.98 ERA. He was a closer for a lot of times, a righty, 314 saves. He played with Texas, Florida, and the San Francisco Giants. He made the playoffs 3 times, 97, got his ring with the Marlins. Of course, I do believe that's the one. That's not the one we looked. Yeah, the Yankees didn't lose to them in 97. Wait a minute.
Marlins? Yeah, they did.
The 96, that's right.
Beckett, I believe, was one of the pitchers and shit.
Right,
yeah, that was
right.
a rough
Yes,
one.
They lost. That was awful. And we have now the weird thing about him is in the playoffs combined, he pitched 20 innings, gave up 20 hits and 8 walks. It looks like he got banged around, but he really got only banged around. A lot of the series he came in, he didn't give up any runs at all. And he was really good in the NLDS, but
I'm wrong. We lost in the ALCS.
We lost to Cleveland. Right.
It was Cleveland, and I'm sorry.
We lost to Cleveland.
We can't be that good where we go to 5 straight World Series.
No.
We
lost to the Marlins the year. We lost to the Marlins the year we beat the Red Sox. In 2003, we got smoked by them.
No, that was Arizona, wasn't it?
No.
That was 2001.
Yes. My brother's kid.
Anybody watching for the first time, we know shit, sort of.
Aaron Boone hit the home run. We got smoked by the Marlins.
Yeah,
Gooch, by the way, had
Gooch's claim to fame is that he was at that game for the Aaron Boone game.
And they had 8 All-Stars on that roster when you look back.
You know what, Jeff, we're going to get to you in just a couple minutes, all right, buddy?
He was also traded from the Marlins in that famous fire sale you probably don't remember, where the Marlins just said, okay, we can't afford the payroll. We're going to sell everyone off. And he got caught in that. He's the son of first baseman Dick Nen, who is another major leaguer. And he played high school baseball with J.T. Snow. We can officially see your Adam's apple. Mr. Will Pena with a quick
3 off the bench.
And it appears I've lost 32 pounds here from the Omni.
What up, Rye?
His best year was 1998, where he had a 1.52 ERA, 40 saves. God bless him. 3-time All-Star. You know what he was famous for? You remember the toe tap? He was the first guy to do that. You remember?
Toe tap.
He did that little, as he was winding up, he tapped his toe on the mound. Do you remember that? I totally remember.
I used to, when I was a pitcher, way back when, I used to not only had a decent windup, but on that, when you're when you're in the full set and you come to rotation, I used to not hop, but give myself a little spring. Yeah, that was my claim to fame.
And everybody yelling balk while you do that.
Exactly. What up, Chris?
Kind of what he was famous for in Game 6, of which they lost, a World Series game. I read about this online, which I thought was pretty cool. His whole mechanics were awful, even though he played 10 years in the majors, and he knew it. But he couldn't pitch any of they tried to say, Luda, all the weight was on his shoulder. So he pitched in a game where he gave up a couple of runs that ended the series with his labrum was off. His rotator cuff was split in half. He never pitched again because he got 11 surgeries. He never came back. But some of the faithful for the Giants love him because he took the mound and his manager was like, you got it? He's like, I give everything I have, which wasn't enough. But anyway, ended up involved with the Giant organization. So that's it. Mr. Rob Nen here from the stadium. I got his card here. It says nothing funny on the back, and that'll do it. He lives in Florida now, and God bless America. Well,
I'm going to Florida in 10 days, man.
I might be going there as well, but more towards Easter.
You got a bachelor party.
Oh,
boy.
I'll be going to maybe Naples, Florida. But there is breaking news
Ooh.
here on the Jimmy Palumbo Show.
Right.
Breaking news. Now,
get that.
The reason why it's breaking news, because my mother was the oldest Patreon member at 86 years old, had the lead as the elder statement, the Queen Elizabeth of the Jimmy Palumbo Patreon until Norma Willis Goff. Norma Willis Goff.
No relation to Jared.
Also known as Mimi. And for the subject of this show, we will call her Mimi Hogan, as Tyson Hogan's grandmother.
That's amazing.
Supposedly
Bang! Let's take a 1-point lead.
She's not really a Hogan because she's Tyson Hogan's mother-in-law, but she is 93 years old.
This is so pathetic.
He texted me earlier saying, listen, my grandmother is all in.
Oh, yeah, she's all in. No, he basically took her credit card from her wallet and said, like, I'm gonna go. What's the one thing I would buy? I don't know. I could do so much with this. Wait. Jimmy's Patreon.
Think Mimi was a huge fan of Lawrence Taylor, and she felt that, it was 56 and there should be a 57. So she is the Byron Hunt of show number 57.
Tyson's and the Hogans 57. For the win.
Tyson's and the Hogans. Now, what it really does, though, Dave, here at Shea, if you're scoring at home,
it's pay me.
No, it puts the pressure on Daryl Clark. I mean, think about that. Now he's got a 93-year-old with a sky jam over everyone for the win. And I tell you, if you're Daryl Clark, I mean, you are looking at family members now. You are on 23andMe looking for a third cousin here at Shea. Now, she's 93 years old, but according to Tyson, she still attends Mardi Gras. She still works out, and she is in charge of a quilting group in her condo place.
This is, I could, you know what? Honestly, when I went into this podcast, I said today, I was like, I can't wait to talk. And then all of a sudden, it was just, it's Senior Citizen Day.
It's Senior Citizen Day.
This is riveting shit, by the way, Jimmy.
Listen, it's great podcasting. I mean, how many, how many, listen to me, and how many Patreon members does Joe Rogan have that are 93? Matter of fact, let's go to the videotape. I don't think there's any Patreon members.
No. He's got, what's the word? Spotify to basically sponsor everything.
I don't care. Name your best Patreon. If you're over, you got to be 94 for the. This is like, we're talking about Johnny Vandermeer here. In order to get the win, you got to be 94. And we don't even know Mimi's birthday. I could have a 94 year soon enough. Also, a shout out to Lisa Lupo, Cameron Clark, and Gracie Hogan. So it is Tyson's and the Hogans Day here at Shea.
I'm starting to believe that only the Tysons and the Hogans are Patreon members at this point. Like, we got to start shouting out some new people, man. Jesus.
Listen, I used to do it. You didn't want me to do it. I can yell.
No. You used to roll off the 50 list, and you just kept going and going.
The list got too long. I mean, I could yell out James Kanowitz or Rob Pastor, Kappa Sig here, or Greg Albert, or Michael Deege, and Jay Bird Michaud here, and Neil Goldhaber, who we were season tickets for the New York Knicks back in 1986. I thought you were going to say my
accountant during my tax season.
So we're going to get to that in a minute. And of course, being that Mimi is 93, she's always chasing miracles. It's time for shit your body needs. That's right, chasingmiracles.com. Go get the patches.
Massive infomercial.
The patches are wonderful here. There it is. Chasing miracles, shit your body needs. I just got some new patches and some great what do you call it? I call them the sand stacks you put into water that gives everything your body needs. Go talk to Tommy and Donna at chasingmiracles.com here. They are awesome. I do take them. My mom takes them. They have things for pain, everything else. I got to get some sent to you.
I know. We say that every week.
I got to get them sent to you. So that is it. Chasing Miracles here from the Omni. Now, It snowed here. Now, you and your little driveway.
My little
Okay.
driveway.
Your
You live in
little
a condo, Jimmy.
Okay.
You
Okay.
have a
But you
designated spot.
hold it. You don't understand. This is now educational for anyone scoring at home here. Okay.
Mhm.
First of all, I have my neighbors who are in their 80s. I have a lady downstairs who's in her late 70s. I have another woman who can't walk, but she's only like 60. She's a mess. I have to go out and clear 6 cars. Okay. Then there's a game you play. Anybody living in a condo gets this. They pretty much tell you, yeah, we're going to shovel your spaces, but we don't know what we do. You have to go out and move cars around, move them to the left, move them to the side as these big trucks come in and they clear I was out there for hours. Now I got a late jump. I wanted all the snow to be down. Some guys got out at 7 a.m. I heard shoveling. I'm like, that's not going to be me. I wanted the full, it was done. It was pretty much done when I got out there. But I was moving cars all over the place, tipping the guy to do this spot first, because my lovely neighbors, Kay and Barry, left early this morning for Florida, and I wanted to make sure they got their car out. So I was Johnny Box of the shoveling of the snow. It took me hours, and you just blew through your little, plus you're bigger
No.
and
I
younger
just
than me.
if we're just flexing on who we shoveled out, fine. I did mine. I did my front yard. I went to my next door neighbor who is more than capable and has a snowblower who I knew was working from home yesterday. Noticed that he didn't touch his shit, so I was like, all right, let me go over there, help him out a little bit, help the old guy down the street a little bit. So
You know what they it's time.
if you have to tell more than one person of a good deed you just did, and you're just telling all your listeners, you did it for the wrong reasons, Jimmy, you scumbag. But I'm just
listen to me. When are you gonna buy? It's time for you to buy a snowblower.
I think it is too, actually, because I'm just like,
By the way,
my back was roaring at the end.
By
of the
the
day.
way, wait till like another month and a half. They go on sale. I'm just letting you know.
It's just like the candy after Halloween.
Good evening, everybody. Yeah, but this snow thing. You know what? I'm calling a timeout, and I want to talk. I'm so done with the snow now.
Yeah, but all right. So
I'm just done with it.
You're saying the same thing as everybody else, and I'm like, not for nothing, but like the last couple of winters, we've been spoiled as shit.
You know what? I don't. You know what it's like? It's like saying we won 3 championships in a row. We stink right now, and I'm like, everyone forgets that it didn't snow that much last year. I'm just. You know what it is? Baseball's on.
Right.
Watching Judge hitting bombs.
Mhm.
Of course, Yankees. Listen, their best player hasn't played yet. Giancarlo hasn't had
hurt.
No, he's just listen. You know what it is? Giancarlo's just too cool for the room. He's like, yeah, Aaron, big deal. You hit a home run off a guy who's playing Double-A ball this year. He waits. He just hangs out. And he'll hit bombs in the.
Ronnie, we're gonna get flood warnings now because it's gonna be 51 on Saturday, and people are like, oh, I don't know what happened, and I'm like, I don't know. It was all the snow that melted.
Hey, listen, I once when I lived in it, my last month in LA, I went whitewater rafting up at the Kern River, and it was a level 5, but nobody told me like what level 5 meant. It really means if you don't know what you're doing, you die in the water. That's what it meant.
the best part was when the news, when the news comes on throughout the course of the week, they're like, we're tracking something here, and we're gonna see what happens. But then by like I don't know, it was like Thursday, Friday. If you let me, I'll get into my weekend with the Great Wolf stuff. But like when we started to see what was about to like kind of formulate, they're like, I know it's not a made up word, so everybody just calm down. But then they're like, here comes a snow bomb cyclone for 3, and I'm like, what? I'm sorry, what was that?
You're hearing words.
Like, what is that? You Google it. It's like, oh, it's when a hurricane meets a snowstorm, and it just drops it all on you, and you're like, oh, fun. So
first of all, but the way they do, listen, I'm convinced that people are so sick of politics that if there's a cloud formation, they're like, we're going to get 9 feet of snow. Everyone's going to die. And everybody just watches the Weather Channel. You get off of Fox News and CNN.
There was a fight. There was a fight over the weekend about, we were at dinner at Great Wolf. My brother, who now works for the DPW of Department of Public Works for.
Tell me your brother didn't get in a fight at the Great Wolf.
No. It was a fight between family because like it's there's a bunch of us, but like we're discussing like, hey, what time should we kind of hit the road on Sunday? So my brother works for the Department of Public Works up in Hasbrook Heights, right? So he does a lot of the plowing, and so as soon as he gets the call, he's got to go, and it's for him, he's like, yeah, let's go, money, overtime, great, like all that stuff. But like the discussion was like, we're like, it might start around 6, maybe 7, maybe 10. I don't know. And then like my stepsister's like, well, we can probably casually go to breakfast. And my brother just like, it's gonna bomb on us. We gotta go. It's like as soon as that first, it's like he wants to catch the first flake. No, everybody. And like he's like, he's not a weatherman by any stretch, but he's got a little bit of the inside plug because he's got maybe the better weather maps or whatever. But dude,
you guys
with what time to leave? He left the night before. He had to.
Yeah, well, what time did you guys leave? Like 9, 10, right after checkout? I guess you got out of there.
We got out of there. I believe we got in the car at like 8 o'clock or 7:45 or something like that. I was home by 9 in the morning.
Oh, you guys are sick.
Listen, it didn't do shit. It didn't do shit until 3, 4
o'clock.
You
have to. You know what?
Dude, it started snowing up there at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, all right, you know what? I'm not taking any fucking chances.
And now you know what's annoying? Like
I'm coming there, Tyson. I'm coming to the Keys. How close are you?
Somebody just said, "Oh, we're only getting like 3 or 4 maybe on Thursday." I'm like, no. I don't want no Rusty Staub pinch hitter slapping a base hit when we just had 1.5 feet of snow. I don't want any more snow. It's spring baseball, softball. I'm signing up for the Mawa League again. Well, let's talk. We'll switch our sites here. And I made a terrible mistake on Sunday morning. I didn't realize, had I known people were going to some of these local bars to watch the hockey game, I would have went. I was up. I watched the whole game, literally like laying in my bed, just watching the game. Some of my buddies went to the local bar here, Brady's. I would have went to that. It was like packed. People were yelling and screaming. I would have went to that for sure.
There's a couple bars that advertised that were like, we're opening up at 10 for the third period. I'm like, what the fuck?
No,
if you're gonna open up.
Open up.
Let's go.
Yeah, first of all, it was a wild game. The women won on a cool thing. That game they play in slow motion, and which was wild.
Asshole.
Good. I'm so right, but good for them. That was awesome. Big win for the U.S. Women beat them, and then the men. Listen, my little knowledge of hockey. Okay, here's what I saw. I saw. Like me facing Joe Rogan in the first round of the podcast tournament, and the U.S. was getting smoked in the puck was always in. Like the U.S. seemed like they didn't get a shot off for the entire game, but you know what? They scored the first goal, 1-0, and then of course you knew they were going to tie because there was like 11 shots that were like wide open. They missed, and finally, bang, they tie it. But you know what? Here's what's great about sports, like. And no matter how better you are than someone, that's why they play the game, Susan. All of a sudden it was like 1-1, and I'm like, you know what? Look at us hanging by a thread, I thought. And then all of a sudden, they end up getting it to overtime, and then they decide to play Little League hockey. I don't care what anybody. First of all, that 3-on-3 thing is the
listen. It's a lot of open ice. You get to like move and maneuver. You're gonna find out who's got the best stick handling in the world right now.
Stick handling?
Yeah, stick handling. It's a term used when you talk about hockey, Jimmy.
Okay. Can you imagine if Wayne Gretzky was playing when they did 3-on-3? It would be like this. And the start of overtime, Gretzky's got scores. That'll do it here.
Well, listen, I was at the gym because when we got back from Great Wolf, I was like, oh wait, the gym's still open. Like before it all. So I went there and I was like, all right, I'll just watch it on my phone periodically, like as it gets closer. But it was on all the TVs. So in between every set, I'm sitting there like a dad looking at his yard. Like hands on hips, just like watching the TV. And then finally it gets to overtime, and man, like that feeling of watching this kid score that game-winning goal. I was on the Stairmaster, I almost fell off. And
but the kid the guy who got the assist, not only did he reach out for the outlet pass, he like had a guy on him. He spun, and that was a perfect pass. A guy from Canada, a little late getting back over there, but it was a perfect pass.
It was awesome, and like I said, I let out a yeeping "Let's fucking go" with my headphones on, so I don't know how loud it was, but everybody was kind of like stopped and like, what's wrong with this guy over here?
It was
like,
listen,
he just won the gold medal.
I think it was something this country just needed, just a nice good thing.
Absolutely.
And
his you can't ask for a better post game interview.
Yeah,
he was so
great.
Proud and just happy, and
everybody was fine. There's no drama there other than sadly the guy Gaudreau. Am I saying it right? The kid who got killed, who was part of that team. And it was great. They got the mother and father were there, the jersey. It was just absolutely great way to end the Olympics, of which I didn't watch.
Did you hear? Oh, by the way, there's a sidebar story about the women's team. I don't know. Did you hear? on that women's team, it was and again, sometimes I'm like, all right, dude, just let, we don't have to narrow down everything. But there was a woman on the women's team, the first ever Black woman to ever win a gold cup gold medal in United States hockey history. Right. So like, she wanted her family out there so bad, but to go out to Milan and whatever, it's just so expensive. Bro, shout out to the Kelsey brothers. They donated 10 grand towards a GoFundMe and they shipped everybody out there and they were able to watch it live. Yeah, man. These are the stories you kind of like you forget about because everybody's just so warmed up or warped with all the bullshit. But like shout out to the Kelsey brothers who did themselves a favor because they're from the same town. So that's why it's awesome.
I love hearing stuff like that. If I was ever loaded, I would do stuff like that.
Sure, hell yeah.
I think that stuff is great. So congratulations to the hockey team. God bless America. Now, I also did something last week, which was really cool. My buddy, Brian Shevlin, who is my college roommate, my buddy from high school, his family, he's Jewish. He has a crazy story about his uncle and his dad getting out of Poland in the Holocaust. And it was always a family story about literally some guy who was not Jewish, took like 200 people through the backwoods of Poland to get to safety. Jesus. And as a little part of the story goes, there was a baby in the group that was crying, probably had some kind of colic or something like that, crying unbelievably. And the elders said, we got to. Okay.
Yeah. Don't say the word because we get kicked out.
Because it was like they had to do something with the baby because it was going to jeopardize 200 of them.
Can't just do the whole.
No, they were. But this guy said, "Give me the baby. We're not doing that. I'll hold it." And this guy who was leading them through took control.
Fuck the baby like a football and just
football. And it was a great story. And so my buddy turned it into obviously it's anything with the Holocaust is a little bit of a downbeat thing, but they turned it into an upbeat story. There was a couple love affairs involved, and he turned it into a musical. Oh, cool. Which they did a stage reading. It was really cool for me because I was able to go in, sit like in the back of this little small space with about 100 people and watch these talented people sing and dance and act this thing out. It was just, and he asked me for my notes. I gave him a few notes here or there, but it was really cool to see. Felt good to be, I'm on an island here.
There's a lot of times where I refer to you as Johnny Drama. Johnny Drama in Entourage is that actor who had so many really great things happen, and on the tail end of his career, things fizzle, but they still have a lot of cool shit. I feel like you're in the crowd and they're like asking you for notes and little Johnny over there, he's not going to be able to make it, and you're like, well, I've dabbled in the acting. If you need anybody to fill in for a table,
listen, I since I knew the producers well enough, they did come up to me. But I will tell you one thing, and this is no disrespect to any of the cast. The 8-year-old boy in the show, he just scored about 41 points, 12 rebounds.
That's awesome.
I said to my buddy, I said, approximately, the best kid in the show was that 8-year-old. He goes, I know. This kid was awesome. And I wish Brian but now I do got to discuss something. Let's discuss the parking situation that occurred with me. Now, everybody knows there's these great parking apps like Spot Hero, and you go to the city and you sign up, you pick a spot and you prepay. It was going to be $22 for me at this place not too far away. And I go in and they park the car. I get to the show on time. Everything's good. I go to check out. I got my little QR code. I'm so happy. I've done this many times. Waltz through, 2 foul shots. Boom. Game over, right? The guy looks at me, and right away when you're dealing with a jerk-off parking garage guy, he just goes, yeah, it's not working. I'm like, all right, well, I prepaid. He goes, I don't know what to tell you. I'm like, well, all right, you guys deal with that later. I'm going to
get my fucking car. How about that?
Get my car, right? He goes, yeah, we'll get it for you. I was like, oh, that's cool. I'll just, he's let me off. So he's like, he slides a little thing underneath. He's like 64.
Get the.
I looked at him and I said, for what? He goes, well, it's $64, park the car. I said, no, I got the thing. He goes, it's not working. And I'm like, I'm like, it's not working. Well, what do you want me to do? He's like, I don't know. Either something on your phone's wrong or the company's got it wrong. I'm like, no, you got it wrong. I paid for this already. So I ended up.
I'm going to make a prediction and say you paid it.
I wasn't able to leave the building.
Knock the fucking guy right in his head.
Next thing you know, I'm like, okay. $64 plus the 22. I'm like, this is nuts.
$64
But
to
so,
park in New York
and there's,
City.
listen, anybody
That
knows.
new mayor is a jerk off. Do
There you
something
go.
about it. My
But listen,
God.
here's the worst part about it all. A lot of these apps are awesome in society. I get
Sure.
it. We all use them until there's a problem. Then you're dealing with some server in Tunisia that someone who has no. I sent an email. I actually went to the help.
Man, you were that guy.
I was that guy. I literally said,
Dear Mr. Hero.
I was like, dear Mr. Spot Hero. I was like, all I did was take a photograph of the receipt. I sent it in, and then I get a thing that says, okay, some lady called me up. She had like a little bit of an Asian accent, I guess, and she was like, well, when did you arrive? I was like, well, that's on your app, but okay, I got there at 1:18, and when did you leave? I was like, well, that's on the app too. I'm like going through all the things. I'm like, I sent the receipt, I sent everything, and she was like, we're gonna have to verify all this. I'm like, I don't. I was like, what else do you need? It's on your site. I still have that $64 is shot in the ass. I'll never get any of that money back.
Nope.
It's still. But the guy's attitude, he was like really nice about it. Like he was just like, nah, man. Like I don't know, that doesn't work. Like I don't
know what you want me to fucking do, but you're gonna pay me.
There's no doubt some guy named Vinny who lives in Queens owns all of the parking lots. There's no doubt in my mind. There's nothing to do with
but the best part is the next guy, right? The next guy who parks in that spot. We're like, I'm having problems with this app, and the guy goes, "Well, the last guy just basically paid for two, so you can park for free."
And then, good to go. And I still tipped the guy who got the car. I only gave him $1. I was aggravated. It wasn't his fault. Anyway, I also had a big audition in the city last week. Which I mentioned last week on the show. And you know what?
Can you disclose or no?
I didn't hear anything yet. It's for a new show. It's a big one though. It's from people that the casting director casted me 7 times. But you know what it is? I do all my auditions from home up against a wall. It would be like if you had to go do a podcast right now at Sirius Radio. Okay, I know you're a pro. Technically, I guess I am too. But like all of a sudden, you're in a different room. You're in the. So I all of a sudden I did that for 30 years.
It's an away game.
It's an away game, and it's also all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, like I'm in front of the guy. There's a whole nother element to performing and nailing your lines and acting out the part and and at first I was like, and I forgot, even though I wanted to thank this guy because he cast me 7 times, but I forgot. It's not that he's a jerk. He's a nice guy, but he's no nonsense. You walk in. Okay, Jimmy, welcome. Go to the chair, step to the left. We're going to take a photo. Like he's like, boom, we're going to start. He's going to be your reader and go. There's no like, hey, how you doing? Hey, it's cold out there. None of that. And I forgot that. So I walk in like, I'm like a fan appreciation day here. And next thing you know, he's like, Jimmy, go by the chair. It's like, next thing you know, I was like, I feel like I walked into the arena. I'm behind center, 3rd and 8 with 2 minutes to go. He gave me notes, which I adjusted to. And it just was, I'm like, man, I got to get back to learning how to do that, but you can't learn it again until you actually get in front. I didn't hear anything. I was hoping I'd hear by now, but maybe I took a slider away and bit the corner. But it was fun to get back into the city and see, other people in the hallway, a couple of guys I knew. But that kind of thing is still fun to do. I miss the city. I want to get back into it. And
how can you possibly miss that city?
It's it's awesome.
It's not. It's it just
is.
Bro.
You sound like a suburban.
No, I sound like somebody who don't want to fucking deal with the pieces of shit of New York City.
It's not bad at all, man. You know what it is? You watch the news, man.
I don't watch the news.
Yes, you do. You got your phone. Please.
What the hell is he talking about? 8 viewers? Brother, you're on a different platform. By the way, we're streaming across like a bunch of shit, so you're not seeing the actual number.
Who's there. Josh Diaz trying to throw a little haymaker?
He's trying to basically say like nobody's watching, but no, I'm watching the real count up top, and we're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, we're live on LinkedIn, we're live on Twitter, we're live all over the.
And listen, Josh. First of all,
Josh,
I was fat, and I did live in the in the suburbs most of my life, but I went into the city and I lived there for 5 years. I enjoy it. I think New York City gets a bad rap.
It does because it's just
It's not, bro.
oh my god! Like
you know what
I
it is?
honestly,
You
I would
hung out, no.
rather eat glass than take my kids to see Rockefeller Center at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just it's a bad area now. And the
No,
mayor
it's
sucks.
not.
Everything sucks.
It doesn't suck. You're wrong. You're wrong.
The only thing good about New York City is Madison Square Garden for the Knicks and the Rangers and everything that goes on there. That's it. That's it. There's nothing else good about New York.
Wrong. First of all, clearly what you did is every Friday and Saturday you hung out at the Menlo Park Mall while the cool people were in the city hanging out at very cool clubs and bars and stuff like that.
Okay, that was a different time, Jimmy.
Right
now, 2026 New York City, I'll poll the audience right now. There's not a single soul that would probably say, hey,
fine.
I would love to go to New York City right now.
It's people. Listen, when I go in there, I'll be going in there on Friday. Listen.
Joe Cinecor says the food's pretty good.
There you go.
So that's
but anyway, I digress.
Well, where's the thing on Friday? I think I saw that you said it in a text. Where are you at?
I got what it is. It's at, first of all, it's the old Dangerfields, which is now called Rodney's. It's at 1118 First Avenue at 7:30 p.m. I'll be performing with Stuttering John of the Howard Stern Show. I'm looking forward to that.
You still around?
Yeah, it's my first show in New York City at like a pretty major club, I guess.
You said first. Where all right, so if I go, all right,
First Avenue.
No, I'm just saying if I go on to and I get out at Penn Station, where do I go?
I would
say
it
walking distance?
I would say no. First Ave is way on the east side. It would be a drive one.
Okay.
I would do. I mean, you could take the
I'm not a subway guy.
Yeah, you would be. Please, listen. You don't know the city, so therefore
I know the city. I used to work in the city. Like, come on, what are we talking about here?
It's like me talking about the Cosmos and their third line. Which, by the way, when I did the Scott Farrell show, and a guy would call. I've said this on the show. Some guy would call up and be like, the Minnesota North Stars, their third line, and he would be like, yeah, well, they got, Xing Shasho and Fing Shashu and all that. Of course,
somebody else French Canadian.
Then he would say something like, listen, the last 4 drafts, they have not taken enough to. And I looked at, we went to the break, and I was like, Scott, what are you talking about? And then he's like, no, listen, Buffalo Sabres. I said, listen, when you talk about hockey, I'm just going to be quiet. And just like, so all I kept on saying was Ron Duguay. Like Greshner, JD. Anyway, but yeah, I'm looking forward to the show at Rodney's. I actually had a little fisticuffs with Stuttering John over the phone.
Oh.
Online, he started saying some nasty things about Artie. This is quite a few years ago, and I was like, I just said, John, I said, what are you talking about? I said, why? I said he was saying how my argument was Artie was making over 6 figures before the Howard Stern Show. He made big money on the Howard Stern Show, and when he got off the Howard Stern Show, he continued to make big money. And Stuttering John, you were nothing when you got to the Howard Stern Show. Then you did well while you were on the Howard Stern Show, and now you're not doing much afterwards. And he, because they were ripping on Artie for no reason. But then I got on the phone with him, and he was like, Jimmy, I realized they do that online just to stir up the Stern crowd.
It's called rage bait.
Because I did stand up with him once before at a show. I think maybe Columbus, Ohio, for you, maybe Pittsburgh. I forget where the hell we were, to be honest with you. And he was the one like, hey, are you going to be able to get Artie off the stage? Artie was just going like on a rant on stage. It was awesome back in his heyday. But I'm looking forward to seeing Stuttering John. I've seen him a few times. He's always been nice to me. But you know what? I got to be honest with you. This is, you know what? And we'll discuss this on the show on next Tuesday. I got to be like, this is like New York City at a decent. I want to drop the bat, but I want to kick ass. I really do. Normally I don't care. I go up, do my thing, try to get laughs. But I'm really like, I want to light it up.
Now, I'm not trying to downplay your comedy because obviously I find you funny, but like, have you added any like significant bombs?
I've added like 1 or 2 bits that have been. I've also refined some of the stuff I've been doing. It's not as much. Don't get me wrong. I would say 70% of my material is still, you'll be familiar with everything. But if you look at the tapes from say 5 years ago, 4 years ago to now, I've manipulated a little bit. I'm also a little more, sometimes I'm more comfortable on stage, but not always. I'm one of those guys like,
And you got to read the room too. So, I mean,
yeah, but you know what? That's what the rookies say. The veterans say, "Give me the room, I got it." You know what I mean? And so what happens is every now and then, though, slider doesn't slide, or a fastball catches a little too much of the plate.
You got a tomato in your face.
It's more instead of reading the room. You know what it is? This is how I feel about audiences. It's not about reading the room. It's just that like audiences are really good hitters. Okay, their lifetime batting average of audiences is 335. So if you pitch well, you can get them out. But if you hang one or you don't
give it a ride.
Well,
yeah, they'll give it a ride.
So that's how I look at it. Most of the time, there are some times when the audiences are hard, but most of the time when you look yourself in the mirror, like, I didn't play well. That's why I
have a couple bourbons and you'll be good.
Yeah, but I do. I want to actually. It's probably the first time in a while. I always want to do well, but I really want to do well. Number one, that way that if anybody from the place is like, hey, we got to get this guy and get more gigs out of him.
What time's the show?
7:30 on a Friday. I think I'm going to be staying over at my brother's place there in the city, but it should be a fun show. Now, what else? Where was I? Oh, okay. Which brings us to, listen, I'm sure the carpets at Rodney's are not clean, Dave. They're not clean.
Well,
and
what shall we do?
You walking in and out of your big shoveling job that you did, I'm sure your carpets may be heading towards filth. And who do you got to call, Dave?
This guy.
I'm Brian from Moxie Magic, and I'm cleaning your filthy carpets.
There you go. And Dave Sturcho was actually producing here. Fans appreciate it.
God, you got a lot of fucking nerve, man. Anyway, here's our graphic. It makes me look 110 years old. But go ahead.
Sturcho, what a combo of a video and a graphic, which I look like I'm 90 in that photograph.
I've trimmed the beard since too. I gotta update this.
Oxy Magic USA, OXY Magic USA.
I was gonna talk to you off air about this, but you said you look 100 there, and the show thing. I updated my picture because I've dropped a couple lbs and the beard is a little different, but I think it's time for some new headshots for you today.
I know. I got another $300 shot in the ass here, Shay.
Oh, if only somebody had a fucking studio you can go to and not charge you $300, or a house photographer who also does really good work. And
okay,
shit, I guess I don't know what I should do. Right. You know what? You spend $300. You know where you can go? The city. Go to the city.
Dave. Okay, Dave. Here we go. Now you've just entered my arena. Okay. First of all, and who's this photographer that's taking your headshot?
Her name is Allie, and she's very good.
Okay, well, do me a favor. Send me Allie's work so I can. That's what you do when you're a veteran in the league.
Have you seen some of my headshots?
You know what you just told everyone? No, listen. If you play for the Yankees, go buy your glove at Walgreens. They got them on sale in the quarter. I don't know who this girl is. Is she any good? But you know what?
Why would I promote her as the house photographer of Stellar 19 Studios if she sucked?
How many actor headshots has she taken?
That doesn't matter, Jimmy.
Oh, Dave.
She's done headshots. She's done people for their LinkedIn stuff.
Well, you know what? I will. First of all, I didn't even realize you had someone there. So number one, and number two,
you don't read any of my shit.
I do, but I thought she did more of those corporate headshots that people get on their business card and stuff or for their LinkedIn shot. You know what? I will have Allie or give me Allie's number. I'll give her a call, ask her to see her stuff, and we'll go from there. And how much is she going to charge?
It's funny. How much is she going to charge? Not fucking $300. That's for damn sure. She hasn't charged me a dime. So how about that?
Oh, well, yeah, because you own the place.
Well, that too. But if only I posted something like this that says Stellar 19 photography, headshots, everything, and advertise that. I did that, and Jimmy still doesn't pay attention.
Maybe you're
so self-involved. It's not even funny.
You know what it is? I think I want your daughter Stella to take the photograph on her iPhone.
Probably better than I could do it.
On the iPhone that she'll have within 2 years.
Oh my God, dude! Last night, Stella and Miles, knowing they have another snow day today, they're home downstairs playing and shit. But they're doing this. We want to build a fort. I said, go for it. We want to sleep in this fort. And I said, look, you don't have to be up. So it's like, what you want to try it out, try it out. You're probably not going to last 5 minutes, but whatever. So we're about to just let them do their thing. They build this fort, it's a little blanket or whatever. It's all, stacked up and whatever, but it's all done. And I said, hey, there's nothing in that fort, right? That we shouldn't know about, meaning like candy, food, water, anything. You're going to bed, right? Is that what? Yes, Dad. Yeah, okay. My wife comes downstairs, a whole she's carrying like 5 bottles of water, 2 bottles of Snapple, 3 candy bars, a Bella cheese thing, and one of their phones, their little play phones.
Shit.
Tons of bitches. I was like, you guys lied, and here's how you know I got a good kid. That beat up Stella so bad that she lied and got caught. She was a mess for like an hour, and I'm like, look, you guys are being sneaky. You're kids. It happens. I get it. But if we ask you if you have any paraphernalia or any kind of substances underneath it, just tell the truth, and we'll be like, hey, listen, you can't have this, you can't have this, you can't have this, whatever. But I say that all to say that my kid's great.
I can't wait till Stella's 16 and see how that little thing is. Don't lie to me now, Stella. And they lie, right? They lie.
I fear for the person that walks in here and says, hi, I'm here to pick up Stella for a date. It's like,
but they also,
it's adorable.
Kids lie right to your face.
Oh, right to my face. It happened last night. I was like,
you're screwed. That's how it is.
God.
I still love. I miss that making forts. I used to make forts with Natalie with like chairs and blankets. And
that's what they did. Chairs, blankets. Yeah.
And every time I tried to make one like decent unit, but she always wanted to have like condos where it had to go way out. Like I'd be running for blankets.
Where's my parking spot?
And I was like way, and it had to curve around. And then of course, when the kid can crawl through, but I can't, then I'll be, Dad, you're hitting the blanket, and the thing would collapse. I'd have to do reparations on it. Oh my God. I missed that. Yeah, you do. And getting the flashlights in there.
Yep.
And then they say they're going to sleep. Did they sleep there? Because Natalie
they were lasted 20 minutes, and then she went upstairs to check on them. And then just from underneath, you could see the glow of some kind of light. And we're like, what is that? And then they walk in, and they're on their phone. They're like, huh? They just caught deer in headlights. Eating cheese, like all sorts. I'm like, what the fuck? What happened to going to sleep? Like, yeah, we are going to go to sleep. Yeah, when? Tomorrow? Like, ugh.
That's how you handle snow days here at Shea. But anyway,
tomorrow, that's all I'm saying.
Go to Oxy Magic, oxymagic.com. Check them out. 1 to 2 hours drying rate. They're in and out. Good people. Go talk to Tommy and Natalie Mayo for that. Well, you know who died? Rudy, the actual player.
When?
Yesterday, he died, 71 years old.
Oh shit! So did the guy. Oh, that sucks. He was offside, but whatever.
So he died. That's a great one.
That's a great one.
He died, and so did Keith. Not Keith Carradine.
The kid from the guy from the Nerds.
Yeah, Robert Carradine, who was like
got royal. My dad would laugh. He does it all the time.
He's got royalty in his family. The Carradines, or his father was an awesome actor, and brothers act, and Keith, and this and that and the other thing.
It was ahead of its time, huh?
Well, he had a great movie. How Hot Was the Blonde, too?
Oh my God!
Whatever happened to her? She disappeared.
It's probably on OnlyFans somewhere.
But he also had some mental health issues. I don't know how he passed away, but he had some kind of a bipolar thing, and some of his kids are talking about that, which I didn't know. I wonder if the band Revenge of the Nerds, because the lead singer in that band, that Jersey band Revenge of the Nerds, that he used to almost
Nerds. Remember the Nerds? You talk about the Nerds. Yeah, those guys are great.
I've seen them. I saw them. Listen, back in the day, they were doing like, they were acting like nerds. But last time I saw them, they're just a great band now.
You ever see the Amish Outlaws? You ever see the Amish Outlaws?
Oh, they're great too.
Oh my God, dude! Like, where do they come? First of all, where do you come up with these fucking names and gimmicks? Second of all, you guys are incredible at what you guys do.
A couple times, I'm going back maybe 20 years ago. I went to the Osprey. What I was doing in there, I don't know. And it's probably 25 years ago. And there was some bands. I'm like, the guy was like spinning the microphone, and I'm like, this band stinks. But then you see the Amish Outlaws, you see the Nerds are completely at a different level.
I came up with a band called the Benjamins, right? They were like, they had some original music, mostly a cover band, but like you could tell like the guy was like, good looking lead singer, and you're like, oh, this guy's clipping everything out there. You know what I mean? Like back in the day.
Right.
And now like you kind of, you know, it's 2026 now. They were popular when I was 21. So that's like 20 years ago. All of a sudden, I got a text the other day from a buddy. He's like, "Hey, man, we're going here, and the Benjamins are going to be there." I said, "Wait, what? No." Like,
well, you know
gotta
what?
be kidding me? Like,
Listen,
no way.
Let me tell you what happens with these bands. They have their heyday where they're making big money. They're busy Thursday, Fridays. And then what happens is they're all like, one guy's a postman, one guy was an accountant somewhere. But you know what? Someone says, "Hey, do you want to work? You want to work 15 weekends of the year?" Everybody makes $1,000. Like, in other words, it's a gig for them. They get to, and also if they have kids and stuff, it's a night out for them. So I get it. I totally get it.
There's another band, 90s Night, right? Bro. They are probably my favorite cover band going right
90s
now.
Night.
9D's DEZ Night, right? And they cover, not only do they cover all the greatest hits of the 90s, in between sets, they play trivia, 90s trivia, they play video games. Dude, it is a whole shebang. They got a residency down at Martell's Tiki Bar every Tuesday. So I kind of sort of feel bad usually when Fight Factory goes in there and just like, "Hey, good luck having the crowd tonight. They're going to be watching some wrestling." You know, I feel like a shithead, but like I would like for them to be on the beach with us and like play in between the matches. And like, you know, we can probably work that out, but they're fucking awesome, dude. They're so good.
I love when someone does a whole complete package in a show like that. Of course, the Southern Cross Band, my band when I was younger, they are playing at the Osprey weekend after Labor Day this year, which is going to be an awesome show. There's no one under the age of 50 in the bar, but they just play great Southern rock. And the opening to my show, which is "Stay Alive," one of their songs, they think they might even open up with that, which is cool. Last year, 2 years ago, I mean, when they played there at a reunion show, I actually was the host. I introduced them, which was very, very cool.
I would probably get so super stupid excited if like we're out and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna go see the Southern Cross Band." I'm like, "Oh, cool!" And they opened with your opening song. I'd be like, "I know this song.
I know that song. It's the only song I know." Well,
That's it.
You know a few of their songs, but you know what's so funny? Donovan's Reef. There was a guy, my roommate for about 2 months in college is, oh my God, I'm dropping his name. He used to play at Donovan's Reef all the time. He was a big band. He's one guy, my guy, I can't think of his name. And I found out he was playing at Donovan's Reef. And one day I went there and I'm thinking he's going to have like a little acoustic guitar because he used to play the guitar at Rutgers back in the day. I go there and there's like 2,000 people in this place. And I'm looking back. And I'm making my way up, and I'm like, he's got a whole thing going on here. And I came up, and I got close enough where I know he would see me, and he totally, as soon as he saw me, he was like, and he got done with the song. He's like, "Jimmy Palumbo, everybody, Jimmy Palumbo."
That's great. Donovan's is really good. I like that.
Yeah,
and like before you know it,
it's slipping me.
Is it the halfway to summer party or kick off the summer party? Well, a couple years back, I went. My buddy works for iHeartRadio, Steve Deluson. But he works for iHeartRadio and he got us in, and like I was backstage with like fucking Jelly Roll before he lost all the fat, and like I was like, this is so cool, you know, like. And of course there's like the up and comers, which Jelly Roll was at the time, and then there was like they're like, "Ladies and gentlemen, Flow Rida," and I was like, "What the fuck, Flow Rida? What's he still doing this shit?" So, but yeah, no, those like the bands, the cover bands, performances down the shore. That's the kind of shit that I like to see.
Well,
the DJs, like the guys that are spinning the shit, I love those guys too. I got a lot of friends that do that shit. And shout out, unfortunately, James Striz, another DJ that used to hook me up down in Atlantic City all the time. He just passed away last week.
To hear that.
Yeah, he was a big shots guy, and he would hook me up all the time. But the DJs, they have their fun, and that's great. But there's nothing like a good cover band.
Well, you know, cover bands now, like the ones a friend of mine reps them. The ones that are they're called like regional bands. What they'll do is they'll do like a show in Maine, in Vermont, blah blah blah. Then they'll do a Florida run, a Texas run. But these bands are like, there's big money because all the old geezers like myself, you know, I'll pay $20 to go into a bar. Sure. And some of the bands are like, there's two of them. They like Foreigner and Journey, of which I wasn't a huge fan of either one of those bands. But it's cool to like, you go there and they play all the songs you grew up with. And there's like a bunch of Allman Brothers cover bands that are awesome. And there's a bunch of there's just so many great cover ones that only do the Stones, or some that just do the Beatles.
I'm only laughing. You know, obviously, if anybody doesn't know this, anything that Jimmy posts on a personal level on his social media is usually Jimmy, right? Anything like you just celebrated your parents' anniversary, like, the feel good shit is usually you and your daughter and all that stuff. Everything else, I'm usually posting like clips or whatever else. But sometimes when I have to log onto your Facebook, I don't touch anything because I'm like, I don't want to fucking know anything. But still, there was like a notification up top, something like you just like got accepted into like an Allman Brothers fan club or something.
I know.
I was like, what a fucking dork. That's so funny though. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, hey, your invite has been accepted. And I'm just like,
well, first of all,
shit.
First of all, you know how some of those clubs, they want to make sure you're a fan and they ask like 3 questions. Usually, okay. These questions were like, on their 3rd album, what is the note on the 2nd song? Like, I was like real. They were the most difficult questions. I was like,
so when you got that notification, like you've been approved, like I got all those fucking questions.
Yes,
right.
Absolutely. But yes, I did post something. February 20th it was a big day in my life because my parents' anniversary. I think they would have been married 66 years now. My dad's no longer here. R.I.P. Miss you, Dad. Also, my grandmother, Nanny, was born on February 20th as well. So we used to always go out to dinner with my grandmother and my parents on their anniversary. And this year I couldn't make it. But also my roommate, I don't know if I talk about my roommate, L.A. I'm going to take a few seconds here to talk about this. Henry Pollack, who was on the show Webster. Those of you scoring at home, he played Jerry on the show. He was the mother's secretary, and he was on the show the entire time. He told me all the inside scoop. People don't know that the original show Webster, which you remember that show, right? Webster was on syndication for a long time. But in the beginning, the show had nothing to do with him. He was just the adopted son. But when they shot the pilot and that little kid went on stage, the audience went nuts, and ABC and Paramount was like, the show's Webster. And the adults, Alex Karras and his wife, who were married, they were like beside themselves because the show was supposed to be about a couple and a loving couple, all these different things. They were like, no, it's about the kid now. But yet they were attached to the money. So the show was a hit. They made billions of dollars, but they were really bitter for the first 2 or 3 seasons until
all that money. That sucks, huh?
Yeah, but my
my heart bleeds for you.
Matter of fact, it's actually now when Henry passed away, he was always bummed because there was a business dispute and it wasn't on any of the streaming services, which would have given him money, which he needed. But now it's on like Hulu and Pluto TV again, and I hope that Henry's estate. Matter of fact, I'm going to look into that to make sure he's getting his money to his family. But he was telling me all the crazy things, how much like it was in the 80s, late 70s, 80s, cocaine on the set and stuff like that. People were getting high as a kite. And but Henry, I got to tell Henry, I could tell this story. So when I first started going to LA, I stayed like in a hotel for a couple of days and this, that, and the other thing. And I was out there for pilot season and I was starting to get hot there because I was on a show. It's called Live on Tape, which was on NBC, which I've talked about. And I ended up rooming with a guy my buddy Bob Stewart, who's a great guy, but he didn't have much money. He was living in a renovated garage that he actually renovated with insulation. We didn't even have an oven. We had like a hot plate and he put a shower in, and I slept like on one of those rafts, like with a sheet over it. It was rough, but you know what? He only charged me a few bucks, very few dollars. And he wanted the company, and I went out there and I rented a car. I'd be out there for 3 months. And I ended up, from there, he ended up moving to different spots. And I ended up rooming with this, another girl who I ran into, a friend of Artie's, and she's like, Jimmy, I'd love to have a roommate. I'm having trouble paying my rent. Next thing you know, I'm living in this beautiful house in a hot area now, but it wasn't so hot back then, but it was a nice house. And we were living like a married couple. Still the funniest thing, Carolina, that was her name. We were like a married couple, but she was a writer and this, that, and the other thing. But then I met this guy at an acting class here in New York with me and Deej went. His name was Henry Pollack, and he announced, listen, if anybody's coming out to LA, I have a condo and I'm renting a room. Now, Henry was gay, okay, but he was a really nice guy, and he got a kick out of...
As if that's going to affect his kindness.
No. He's a really nice guy.
He's gay, but he was a kind gay.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I wasn't exactly, living in the Middlesex County, which is like, it was Nowhereville. And I was like, but the price was like really good, and first of all, I think he Deej was all in cut and shaped. I think he was in love with Deej, but so I was like, well,
It was before Orange Theory Fitness.
Before Deej was always Deej either got really heavy or really got ripped. I can't wait till Deej gets fat again. Alphonse from Beer League. So I ended up, but I took him on, and it was like his rent was. And I got there, and it was this beautiful condo from the 70s, but it had been a little long in the tooth. His career was a little bit like, a little bit on the downside at this point. But I moved in, he was like, he had all these rules, like can't do this, can't do that, can't do that. But the rent was like $600 a month. And it was, in the beginning, I was like, I got to admit, I was like, I'm moving in, I'm living with a gay guy. Like, then I realized that went out the window. I got to meet all of his friends. And
it turns out in California, everybody's gay. So it doesn't matter.
Well, listen, I've told this story on the air. We went out for a brunch after church.
So you know,
okay. And
exactly. What straight guy goes to brunch? Go ahead.
No, there was a table of 20 guys. Okay. At this place in LA. We get there and I got introduced. They didn't know who I was. He go, my house is my housemate, Jimmy. I looked at the table and I knew about 15 of them from television. Like, that guy's on that show. Oh, I know that guy.
That's funny.
I know, right? And then I whisper to Henry. I said, Henry, all those guys are gay? And he goes, yes, you didn't know that? I'm like, no.
I do now.
I do now. So then, of course, he announces, just to let you know, Jimmy plays for the other team.
Oh, my
Not
God.
our team. So I got to know really a bunch of really awesome people that way.
Just a really good class of gays.
Well,
They're very good people.
No, listen, I learned, I didn't know. You learn when it's like, listen, I've always said any kind of prejudice you have, racist, sexist, you only learn from experiencing it. That's how you learn.
Of course.
And I got to, we actually, in the beginning, like, I was a little bit like, all right, I'm not going to get in this guy's way. He's let me rent. I had my own room and own bathroom, which was cool. But we ended up having such a great friendship. I can't even tell you. There was he was so helpful to me. He was an acting coach, so he helped me with auditions. He also, when I tell this to people, even my nephews out there, when you live in LA and you're in like an apartment with like 4 actors, it's mayhem, bro. It's either alcohol, drugs, the pressure of auditions and trying to read the script. Yeah, it's like a shore house. And I partied in some of those houses, and some of them are filthy and dirty, and people don't have money, and it's loud, and they don't have couches set up right, And then I was able to party, and I did party quite a lot in LA. But when I got home, man, I had my own parking spot in a garage. I had a washer and dryer I could use. It was quiet. It was such an oasis. And in the beginning, I was like, I won't be able to have friends over here. But I actually loved it because I just escaped back to the cave. And Henry would, I'd make dinner for him. He made dinner for me. He brought me to plays that I didn't know about. He introduced me to people that, some major voiceover people that were major talent that I never would have met out in LA, instead of the crazy guys that I still hang, like Pat Volkamer and Johnny Kelly and all those guys, which I dearly love them. But he introduced me to a whole nother side of it. He also knew a lot about LA, this, that, and the other thing. And he also was a good, when you're living out in LA and you're striking out, man, with auditions, LA's a nasty place to be because it's very isolated. You're in your car. And he was very good at, like, hey, he used to say, there. I'd come home screaming, I didn't get I lost out. I missed the audition because they didn't get me the sides and all that stuff. And he was a very calming influence. And sadly, I ended up moving back here. Before I left, he did get cancer, and he was kind of beating it. And he was doing well with it, but cancer sometimes just goes 9 innings, and he really suffered at the end. I felt so bad because I had a daughter here. I couldn't really be out there for him. I would have went out. I would have moved back for 6 months to help him out, but his family helped him out. They had to move him out of the condo and everything. And I'm good friends now with his sister Luann, who I keep in touch with. And he's been gone almost 10 years now. But
that's a good story, though. Like, you never actually know, like, what these, anybody possesses behind the scenes. You're like, all of a sudden,
no, you wouldn't.
How do you know these people? You know what I mean? Like,
when he told me he's the guy from Webster, I was like, oh my God, that is the guy from Webster. And then, he had something really cool, though. And I hope the family did. He had every script from every episode of Webster in a bound thing. And I always thought, like,
that's
some
cool.
Some collector of. So what I did was I saved like 10 scripts that I had. One of them was the original Friends. I have a couple of my
That's
Law and Orders.
Wait, you have the script of that?
Yeah, full script.
That's really cool.
In the back then, it wasn't online. You got a full bound script delivered to your house,
Wow.
no matter where you were staying. I also have, friends.
People, not for nothing. If you ever fall on hard times, people would pay top dollar.
Oh, well, that's the thing. I wish I would have got it signed by some. One of them I got somebody.
I don't even think some people, if they think Jennifer Aniston even sniffed it, they're like, listen, oh my God, I need that.
The coolest thing I have from my LA sojourns is the original draft script of Desperate Housewives, the pilot.
Oh shit!
I've told that story. I was playing tennis with a guy, and he was like this chubby guy, and we started BSing, and all of a sudden he's like, "Yeah, I'm a writer," and he goes, "Yeah, I'm working on this pilot," and he handed it to me, and the title said "Desperate Housewives," and for some reason, that's a cool title, like a Desperate Housewife. I was like, dude, love the title. I read it, and I actually loved it, but there was a role. I've said this on the role of this plumber, who all the ladies love him because he's always helping them out, and he was very blue collar. And I'm like, you know what? I could totally nail this role. And he said, if it goes to, it went next, ABC, big deal. He made millions and millions of dollars.
That show was big.
Was big. He said, I'd get you an audition. He did. I read for the pilot for the role of, I think it's Mike, the plumber. And I didn't get it. And he sent me a very funny email. Jimmy, we loved you. I promise if it goes to series, I will bring you back in. We went in a different direction with the plumber, right? Something, maybe they went like, a different color or something. The opening scene is this guy jumping out of a pool, all ripped up. And I'm like,
Jimmy, here, as blunt as we possibly can, you're too fat for this role.
Too fat. I looked like the ball boy for the Knicks. I was like, but he said he'd bring me in, and then I did it. I still think one of the funniest scenes ever in Desperate Housewives when I get chased by what's her name, Terry Hatcher. And the girl looks like she's having oral sex with me, and then Terry Hatcher opens the door and realizes it's not who she thought it was.
By the way, everybody, this is international sign for oral sex. He was like, "Oh, I'm like, I didn't know." I got it. You could have just said it, but yeah, that's fine.
It's Lent. But the best
that I did not give up receiving for Lent. By the way,
my line in that thing was the woman who is pleasuring me says, "Is that your wife?" And I say, if that was my wife, because Terry Hatcher was hot. I look at her, I go, "That was my wife. You think I'd be here with you?" That was derogatory. Oh my God.
I remember
That's up on my, you know what? It's up on my website, jimmypalumbo.com. Check out that scene. But I do miss Henry, February 20th, and he was just a good friend. Last few things here. We did some college visits. Been to Sacred Heart in Fairfield over the weekend, and we're going to be going to Quinnipiac. I don't even know how to say it. Quinnipiac, and Natalie's choosing. Looks like it's Providence, Sacred Heart, and Fairfield, all in the mix. I'm currently doing my taxes, which means I want to hang somebody. There's nothing worse when you have an off year doing your taxes, and it's like I felt like Sigourney Weaver in Alien. I'm like, I'm going through. Of course, you didn't send me your receipt.
First of all, you sent me the email last night at 11:15 at night. I'm sure you were 2 bourbons in, and I'm like, nah, hold on, I'll get it to you.
I was in the throes of, I got an idea what it is anyway. I just need a piece of paper in case I get audited.
I was going to say you could probably do some.
I do my taxes so honest, it's ridiculous.
Oh, dude, my business partner Chris Payne, who is a now retired NYPD officer. I told him, I was like, hey, listen, our accountant, really good, straight, right down to the button, make sure he gets everything, blah blah blah. But he's like, he's so mad we didn't use his guy last year, or his guy from last year. I was like, why do you want to use that guy so much? He's like, I can write off pretty much everything.
Right.
Like, yeah, I know. But then like, you want to be on the up and up. You don't want to be too much of a douchebag. I know some people that are like write off every step they take.
Dude, a friend of mine did that for years. Like, she claimed 45 kids. Like, just everything. She goes, "Oh, Jimmy." And then I talked to her. She goes, "Well, I got audited." I'm like, I know. When they found out you don't have 15 kids, right? She's going, But you know what she told me? She goes, "Yeah, I paid a fine, blah, blah, but if you add up all the years that I beat them, the fine was." I'm like,
still up.
Listen, my father, God rest his soul, he ran his company so honest. It's crazy. Anyway, don't forget Absolute Eyewear. Getting involved here, 42 Main Street, Woodbridge, New Jersey, 732-326-EYES.
I was about to jump all over it.
What are the numbers?
3937.
Dave Sturcho.
Oh, did I nail that?
That was a delayed.
Let's take a 1-point lead.
Heard the read over and over again. You would think you get it.
732-326-3937. Craig and Janine, opticians, go there, full service. I have trouble with that word, optician. They got everything there. Charles Oakley's there cleaning up. And you can do anything you want. Just say Dave Sturcho, Palumbo, Chop Sports, Stellar Studios, Miles Davis, whatever you want to say there. I know Dave's not allowed to say Chop Studios anymore.
I mean, first of all, I'm allowed to do anything. It's still like I'm just saying. Oh, here comes the lawsuit. No, I changed things. No.
I know.
I paid for a lot of this. I paid for a lot of the cool, fun shit over the weekend with my Stellar 19
Stellar
Studios.
19 getting involved. Which we didn't even get to. Well, you know what? I was going to talk about Seven Kingdoms, but I won't. All right, give me a quick
Well,
first of
all, somebody told me about Seven Kingdoms. They're like, oh, you got to watch this. It's amazing. And I'm like, do I have to know everything about everything else?
Not
and
at all.
No.
So
I was like, maybe I'll give it a shot.
But it's Game of Thrones light, but it's a different kind of show.
Yeah, I'm in on Animal Kingdom still, which is.
Are you? So you never watched Game of Thrones, huh?
I did, but like I didn't like I wasn't like religious, and then I would stop, and then I would try to pick it up, and it was just like I don't know, I just never did it for me.
I think you should.
Which is surprising me because like
I
say
you
like
should. I say you revisit that, but let me tell. Now you went to. I'm
Great Wolf Lodge. I don't want to go too long, but yeah, Great Wolf Lodge. It was a lot of fun. A lot of mixed reviews and shit as you go into this thing.
Did anybody get sick from the kids peeing in the pool?
No, but that was funny because we did make jokes about that. I've been pumping emergency since I got back to make sure, like, because like I said, I'm going on a bachelor party next week, and I'm like, I am not going to be sick for that. Yeah, no, it was fun. Like my dad and bonus mom Barry, they treated us for Christmas. They brought me, which was funny because my sister-in-law made a joke. She's like, hey, I really appreciate you putting out that post on Facebook saying that like you're going to the Great Wolf Lodge, or, your brother and everybody. And basically what I did was I made an announcement that nobody would be home anywhere. So she was like, hey, thanks for doing that. And I was like, oh, come on. Nobody knows the codes to the house. I'll put that in the comments. No, but it was a great time. All the kids had a ball. Like
you sent some of your photos on.
I haven't been on a water slide in like 25 years, maybe longer.
Yeah, and the guy who designed the water slide definitely was like, "Hey, wait a minute, look at this bastard going up there."
So ready? All right, this is the one story I'll say. It was the first slide that me and Stella went on together. Now remember, you
gotta be careful. You gotta hold.
No, here's the thing. So it's a double, right? You're stacked in front of each other. You're on the back. She's in the front. She's too small. She'll slip right through. So you have to put your feet together. So she sits on your feet, basically, like, and you're, whatever. So we go down the first slide. Now, mind you, Stella's a thrill seeker. She's scared of nothing. So I'm like, all right, this is gonna be fun. The speed picks up a little bit as we go down. Like, oh shit, what the fuck? So now I'm holding on to the things like the rails, and so is she, right? Like her own respective rails, the handles. We hit the first turn. Stella goes airborne. I'm talking airborne. Like she lifts off the seat. Bro, when I tell you, it was like an alley-oop. I dunked her back onto the thing in real time. Dunked her ass back onto the thing, and I'm like, now the rest of the ride, I'm holding onto her shoulder and holding on to I'm like, but she's like, and she's yelling, "This is the greatest day of my life!" And I'm like, yep. And like when we got off the slide, we had to explain what we just did.
Right.
Mommy, my favorite part was when I actually flew off I'm like, no. I was like, no. But no, it was such a great time. It's just a really good experience with the kids, like dance parties and shit, and everybody had a good time.
How fast did they fall asleep at the end of the night?
It was glorious. I've never seen anything like it. Dude, you know what the worst part is? Fucking the stairs you gotta climb. I'm like, and I got the thing on my back. I'm like, oh my God. She's like, and then as soon as you get down, go do it again. You can do it again.
The only story I can say about that is when we took Natalie to Disney World, my sister came down with us. We got onto Space Mountain, and every ride we ever went on, I always sit right next to Natalie. We get on this Space Mountain. We talked Natalie into doing it. We get up there, and it wasn't 2, 2, and 2. It was 1, 1, 1. So I couldn't be next to her.
Oh, wow.
So
that's right.
I put me in the front, and I put Natalie in the middle, my sister in the back. Natalie's like, "Dad, I don't want to think." She starts, and the guy's like, "Sir, there is a side stair to go down." And I'm like, "Nat, what do you want to do?" I don't know. We go down this thing. Natalie was screaming, screaming at me. My sister's grabbing. I'm holding her hand. Meanwhile, I'm getting jostled all over the place. So I know that feeling of like,
I could tell you, and they have a great little nice little arcade, right? We play in a lot of the crane games. Now teaching your kids how to lose right is very hard because all those crane games are greased up and you can't get shit. And it's just like, and I think Tyson might have commented on something like, did you put, your money on mom because you love your mom? And I'm like, yeah, maybe. But dude, there was one thing where it was like a lever. And Stella, we were struggling in the ticket department. I was like, because I said to everybody there, I was like, guys, it doesn't matter how many fucking tickets you get. We're all going home with like Chinese finger traps. Right, that's all. Like, you're never gonna get anything good.
No, nothing.
Stella hits the lever and it does like one rotation on this. Like it was like more or less like The Price is Right, and it stops. And she goes, Daddy, I won 500 tickets. I said, nah, you have to get it into the little slip. Holy shit, yeah. 500 tickets. And I'm yelling on top of my lungs. I'm like, look at my daughter. She's the fucking. And then the whole thing is like, woo, woo. I was like, it's only my daughter. I'm like, this is amazing. Yeah, no, it was a really, really good time. I will say this, and I said this to my father because I said, I have to bring this up on Jimmy's show. Parents and or kids. I said, if they had a rating, like if it's Madden, right, and you have to give them a rating,
right?
Pocket awareness, everybody scores a 0. Like nobody knows. Like they're all just walking like fucking robot, and people are bumping into each other. I said, watch where the fuck you're going. And there was one thing I'll say this as I close this whole thing, because again, overall experience, perfect. Great time. We're in the lazy river. There's a couple people, little teenage, like 12, 13s, right? They're not in any tubes, right? Because they're rebels, right? And they're saying some shit to my father. Like they're going by my father, and I'm not gonna repeat what they said because it was so stupid, right? My dad's like, hey, scram, like whatever. Then they go up to my wife, who's got Stella, or no, Miles, in her, just in the same tube. They're like, can we hold your baby? Like just saying shit like that, and I'm like. And I remember I'm in the front and I don't hear any of this shit.
Forget about it.
So then they get to me, and I see the face on everybody, like kind of like annoyed. And they get to me, who I'm on my solo thing. They're like, sir, can we? And before they fucking even completed their sentence, I said, do me a favor, get the fuck away from my family, and do me a favor, go find your fucking parents. I was livid. Turns out. 10 minutes later, we're sitting around in the area that we're at. 4 security guards are escorting these kids out. But here I go. I guess they're talking to them. The kids are trying to negotiate, like, we didn't do something. So I'm over there. I'm like, throw them out. Those guys are pieces of shit. Get out of here. Out of here. Gone. I'm like, I hope you paid all the money in the world to be there, and you had to leave early because you're pricks. Parents, raise your kids better. That's all. It's great experience.
Those teenager kids, when it comes to that,
just jerk offs, man. I wanted to punch them all in the face.
All right, well, listen.
Anyway,
show number. Don't forget, Rodney's on Friday night. Anybody in the city, come check me out, hang out. I think I'll be staying over Friday night as well. That'll do it here from the Omni. Good show. Little, not much sports, I guess. There's nothing going on.
Some of these people that understand it, they're okay with it.
That's it. And a big shout out to Mimi Goff, a.k.a. Mimi Tyson's and the Hoogans, for number 57 on the Patreon.
Thank you for your contributions to my bank account. Good night, everybody.
We will see you next week.